Hello everyone and welcome back to Hand of Fate, my faves of 15. This is Hand of Fate, a fantastic card game type D&D dungeon delver, and also a roguelike. It is a fantastic game, just wait until you see more of this. I hope you want to see more. So let's start off right where we left off in the last episode.
The game begins. One lives and one dies. Let us see what you are made of. Ah, good. Now you understand the basics, we can begin in earnest. Your hero is returned to his beginning items. Our decks are reset. Welcome to the cabinet, home of the members of my court.
Alright, so now I can choose story mode or endless mode. Endless mode takes a little bit more to unlock. You have to beat, I think, the first 2 or 3 bosses before they will give this option to you. But for now, story mode is just perfectly fine. So we open the cabinet, and now we can choose the second boss, which is the Jack of Skulls. So he's pitting me up against the weaker enemies, okay? So queens are obviously more powerful than jacks, and queens are obviously more powerful than jacks and queens. It's not entirely across the board. They introduce you to some challenges at a slower pace than others. But let's do the Jack of Skulls now. So we went up against bandits. Now we get to go up against the undead. Challenges: 2 times 2 of skulls, and 3 supplies, so...
Time for you to face my undead army. Meet the Jack of Skulls.
Alright, I'm not going to auto-arrange these decks here. Now, we can go into the deck builder now that we have... Now that so many new cards have unlocked. So, you can see I have a whole lot of redundancies in here. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put all of these brand new cards that are new into my hand. And I've got to round my hand out completely here. So the next step I'm going to do is I'm going to remove some of these junk items, okay? The sword, if I hit Y to inspect this, it does 23 damage. The axe does 25 damage. So the sword is clearly inferior, so I'm going to remove these. And now I'm left with some basic, one basic shield, a fancy shield, and then I've got some really nice armor in here as well as you know, some good weapons here. Now, the Desperate Measures mace, I can hit Y, but this card is new, and thus its contents are unknown. Find this card during play, and its secrets will be revealed. So this is an artifact. It probably has a special effect whenever I am using it in battle, and I probably have to manually trigger it as well. I also have some other cards here that I can get, but I won't cover those in too much detail. We want to get right back into the game, right? So, we can add these other encounter cards: Peasant, Dead King's Hall, Devil's Choice, and the River. We can go ahead and remove some of these other things, including Ambush. We'll get rid of Ambush and we'll add River. So, go back and we're all done. We've got all the cards in our hand for this round, and we will go forth from here. Start game. Now we get to see him deal the deck.
New content awaits you. It will be awarded when you complete your run. I will add my own cards to the deck. How boring life would be without a little spice. We play for life and death. Prepare yourself.
Alright, so we step on Mr. Lionel right away, and I'm pretty sure that's programmed into the game because Lionel almost never shows up in all my other plays. So, Mr. Lionel. It's the exact same story as in the last episode. It's a goblin dressed as a man. He wants to know if I can give him anything, so I'm going to give him the food off of my plate. He considers the bread seriously before placing it carefully in his coat pocket and seemingly satisfied. Grin reveals his chip yellow teeth. Draw 1 shield card. Alright, so basic shield. It's not the best of the best, but it will do the job. And as you can see, I've already got a series of tokens in my basket there, in my little bowl on the right, so I'm going to be unlocking tons more cards. Let's not leave anything unexplored, though. The river. This is a new experience.
Running water protects against many things in myth. Generally, though, it's just a pain to get past.
Your path is blocked by a river. The water is clear, but fast-flowing. So let's attempt to cross the river. I have 1 chance for failure, 2 chances for success, and 1 for significant success. I think that this is the significant. Huge success! Here we go, yes! Your light armor makes the crossing easy, and you even stop to dive for some shiny stones at the on the riverbed that may fetch a few coins. So I get 1 gold gain card. 15 gold! Hey, that's pretty well. This card's token is now yours.
Token is yours. Well done.
So that's going to unlock new cards for my hand next time I play through. And those tokens will unlock whether I win or lose this round. So. We meet the maiden again.
Fair Merith. I'm not surprised to find that this encounter remains vivid in your memories.
I am going to ask for supplies this time around because there's more of a dungeon delve to go through. Okay, this bread will sustain you for many days. Draw me 2 food gain cards, so I gain 3 food, and I gain 5 food.
One of my cards. A small benefit. I will not be so graceful for long.
The Twisted Canyon again. This is the same thing that we encountered in the last episode. Climb down and retrieve the weapon. So 3 chances for success, 1 for failure. So I'll try to watch the failure card. This would be it that I want to take. It's not very difficult. They start moving the cards around much faster later in the game. You climb down to retrieve the weapon very carefully. You make your way to the bottom of the canyon. Draw 1 weapon card. Hopefully this is an awesome... Alright, we've got an axe. This is better than what we're using currently. The rusty axe. 5 more points of damage. And really, I mean, 30 damage is significant in this game, so we'll have to take a step back. And as you can see, every single time I move across cards, I lose 1 food. So if I have food and I'm not at full health, I slowly heal, about 5 or 7 points per move. However, if I don't have any food, I take damage to my health. I start starving, so having provisions is very important.
Head downwards, if you dare.
Okay, we take the stairs to the next leg.
Many have reached this far. Further, in fact. I do not know if you have what it takes to do better than they did.
Alright, so Captain of the Guard.
There's a token in it for you if you win.
You hear a shout from ahead and the sounds of battle. Racing forward, you discover a warrior surrounded by undead. 2 of skulls. Stranger, he calls out as he throws his weapon to you. Here, take my mace and put an end to these monstrosities. Alright, so we're getting a good opportunity here. Mace.
It's a lump of iron on a stick. Not terribly subtle.
Equipment with this trait strikes fear into the cold hearts of the undead. They will sustain more damage and may not be resurrected around such holy relics. Okay, so the undead can be resurrected, but this is holy, so we'll equip this baby. It does 2 more points of damage. We're at about the median level of damage dealt by the time you enter the end game. It's not uncommon to be dealing this much damage for most of the game. So we'll skip all of this. They're not too difficult. Alright, so the undead have been dealt with. Okay, Captain of the Guard. Good work putting them to rest. Keep the mace. We have enough back at, Kandere, he says, slowly standing. We've been hearing reports of undead in our kingdom recently, and I came to investigate. He stops and looks around at the bone fragments. More of them here than I suspected. Some new horrors must have decided to settle in these parts and brought its minions. I must head back to the capital and report this to the Duke. Watch your step, friend. There's something more powerful at work here than just these skeletons. The card's token is now mine. Alright, so we move on. Traveling Mage. In a shabby grove off the beaten trail, you find a traveling merchant looking to trade. Okay, I'll approach the shop. Greetings, wise traveler. I have much to offer you. So, we'll address the shop. Let's see what he has for sale. Alright, we see some of these. Dragon Ring. While all the dragon relics are equipped, received 50% max, plus 50% max health and full healing. So, the dragon relics are particularly difficult because you have to get all of them together, and to my knowledge, they don't actually do anything on their own. So it's probably better to bother with something like the Plunderer's Cap, but I don't really have enough gold. When you draw supplies, instead, draw 2 and pick 1. An Alchemical Silver. Press right bumper to attack faster with each successful strike. The longer your combo, the more explosive the reaction. I can also sell items, if I have anything to get rid of. I do have this old axe. I can get rid of this. So, I'll sell that off. It only gives me I'm only up to 30 gold, which means that I still can't buy any of these relics, so I'm just going to leave the shop. I'm perfectly fine on provisions for now as well, so... I probably only have one more leg of the dungeon past where I'm at. We'll move forward. The bandit attack.
Our bandits are displeased with your challenges.
A group of bandits suddenly attacks. The King of Dust isn't happy about you killing his men. The dealer draws you one monster card, the Three of Dust. Alright, so the holy effect on my mace isn't going to do too much here, but it will still... I will still do more damage. Back and forth. Come on, pal. You aren't showing me any sort of challenge. Ah. Bandits, you don't stand a chance against me. Ha 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 ha. Too easy. Too easy. Among the bodies you find a scrap of parchment with a rough description of you, plus an offer for a reward from the King of Dust. The dealer draws you one gain card. So, it's being very generous because generally this doesn't happen too often. But now I have 60 gold, and there's nothing stopping me from taking a step back. So we're going to return to the Traveling Mage here. We're going to approach the shop. And the shops can be a little bit dangerous later in the game because they can be surrounded by bandits. Bandits will attack you whenever you go for shops. Buy item. Ah, Hag's Wraps. These are much more cheap, and it looks like he's changed his inventory a little bit. When you draw supplies, instead draw 2 and pick 1. Here, Hag's Wraps, each strike inflicts a curse, slowing and weakening your opponents. So this sounds a lot more beneficial than ye old Plunderer's Cap, so I'm going to equip this instead. Purchase that.
It's not enough that you kill them, you'll curse them too.
And I'm going to buy 1 food for 6, just to make up the difference of the fact that I had to backtrack that one time. So we'll now move forward again. A winding trail,
Well
so we've
then,
been here before.
How will you deal with this?
We'll attack the dust, because I am not any sort of sucker. The battle begins. Hardly a challenge. Get him. So, as you can see, there was an electric effect going on the whole time, and that was the result of wearing those Hag's Wraps on my wrists, as you could see on my character model. So, we get 3 gain cards, some equipment.
I'm sure you're grateful for
Fortitude's Breath. Every third encounter does not consume food. Press B button to shield bash a target, stunning it. So, standard shield effect as well as not consuming food every third encounter.
that. Are you sure that's the right approach?
We get some extra food, that's great. And we get some extra gold as well, so that'll be perfectly fine. I'm probably going to run into another shop on the next level, so let's continue. Found the stairs.
Deeper towards our foe. Good. Now all you need to do is find and kill the Jack of Skulls, and we can progress.
Alright, so Dead Man's Gorge, it's another ambush, except this time, instead of...
More skeletons for you to deal with.
Alright, let's take these guys out. Hardly any sort of a challenge. It's just a bunch of undead schmoes. Not even worth a notice. But again, we're still in easy mode on the game. Well, not really easy mode. I don't think that there are actually any settings on this. However, we are still only on the 2nd level, so it's being, again, very generous. Healing Cap.
Increasing the effect of one sort of magic with another. All you need is a channel for power, and it's simple enough.
Alright, so we can step forward again. Got a new cap and some materials. Dead King's Hall.
Greed. If it were not for greed, then who would play at this game?
Alright, you see an ancient, ornate coffin in the main burial chamber. It may hold spectacular wealth, but it will surely be guarded. Draw 2 monster cards. Okay, so we have 4 skeletons to take on. Now, they're also combining it with chance cards. Think it's this one? Huge success, lucky me. Suddenly, you leap into the fray, taking one of them down before they can even react. So, I can discard one of these. Now, I discarded a card, not just an enemy, so now I only have to take on 2. Lucky. Now you also have to be careful, sometimes traps can be on the, sometimes traps can also be in these arenas that you fight in, such as blade, arrow, all sorts of things. And eventually, disease and poisons come into it as well as burning effects, so things get significantly more dangerous. Again, 3 gain cards. It's being so generous to me. Desperate Measures and Medium Armor. So let's look at Desperate Measures here. I can take a look at it.
I'm impressed. Few select these sorts of weapons because nobody ever anticipates being in peril. Such misplaced confidence is usually their downfall.
He makes a very good point. So this will be very, very useful because it does more damage than what I'm doing right now. However, I don't think that I have any armor on me as it currently stands.
Distinctly average. What do you expect me to say? Congratulations?
So, defense medium. I think that I'm going to take the armor because I'm pretty certain I don't have armor right now. Light armor, so.
Armor protects you from damage. The best armor, of course, does so much more.
Alright, so the last card I got there was an increase to my maximum health, so I got a lot of equipment as well as unlocked some cards. Of course, they're more or less just giving me things at this stage in the game. Devil's Choice.
I like this demon. He lies as often as he tells the truth.
Okay, a cloaked devil appears before you in the path. I'm here to test your strength, so-called hero. Choose your foe. Alright, so I can choose one of these, the dust or the skulls. I'm going to choose the skulls. Yes. Since that is whom you wish to fight, today I think I shall make you fight the others instead, just for fun. So, it's a devil. Sometimes they will do this, and there's no telling whether or not you're going to get lucky or not lucky. Alright. So it's just a bunch of dust, a ton of bandits. Hardly difficult. Again, a couple of whacks to the cranium and they're down. Oh, one of them got a hit on me. Whoop. Careful there. I'm getting a little bit cocky. So there we go. I've taken my first hit of the game, but still, not too much worse for the wear. The mace doing its job. A little bit slow to attack for my taste, but nonetheless. Okay, excellent, the devil cries. You have passed my cunning test. Have some treasure. Perhaps next time our paths cross, I will kill you. The dealer draws you 3 gain cards. Incredibly generous this game is being. 1 equipment card, medium armor.
Middle of the road in every way.
Okay, so that's it. We got gold, provisions, and armor. We'll move forward 1 more tile. And we're at a shop. Now we have an opportunity to find out just what I can spend all of this gold on. For that matter, my health, I've healed all the way up to maximum again. So that's fantastic. Now, let's find out what this shopkeep has available. Buy items. We have some new stuff. Chains of Rage, defense medium. During combat, strikes sustained from bows and wands have a chance to restore your cooldowns. So this doesn't really matter all that much to me because I'm just flat out not ready for it. Once per combat, press right bumper to activate an aura that makes every successful strike drop gold. So mercenary contract. None of these are particularly useful to me because the boss is the very next tile. But I'm gonna buy the Chains of Rage anyway.
An excellent way to turn an injury into an asset.
And I'm just going to leave it at that, because there's not much else that I need to spend my money on. Alright, and we move down to the final card, the Jack of Skulls.
The Undead. Of all the players in the game, these are the most dangerous in the world, yet in no natural form. A wrongness, an error, cheating.
Alright, so the Jack of Skulls, this tenacious undead, is unusually difficult to lay to rest. In addition to sheer strength, this skeleton has the power to revive recently defeated skeletons in its close vicinity.
Win this and claim my token.
Alright, we've got 2 tokens. We've got a lot of tokens to unlock at the end of this. So let's take on the Jack of Skulls. Hopefully, my Holy Relic will be able to negate his ability to raise the dead around him, but we'll see if we turn out that lucky. So he has 4 of Skulls with him, as well as the Jack of Skulls himself. Let's try to take this guy out. It'll be critical to defeating him, to being victorious, that I kill him first.
Shots from rifles cannot be deflected. You would do better to avoid them. Are you agile enough?
Okay, so we have riflemen in the background now, in the back row now. Whoop. Uh-oh. Ooh. Okay, see? Shield bash him. Ooh. Some of those moves cannot be blocked. Alright. There we go. We killed them all. So, the special moves that the Jack of Skulls had there, I could stop it with a shield bash. Let's grab that card. Here I am, victorious.
Ah, well done. Well done indeed. But you have roused the dead in their dusty tombs, and even I cannot say what will come of it. Now our wager becomes more interesting. Will the tools you've earned suffice to address the challenges I pose? That is the question, is it not?
Alright, so let's activate this. The Murder at Sea DLC has arrived. Visit the landlocked lubber to begin the quest. Okay, so the landlocked lubber. This is DLC that I purchased for the game, and it is a chain quest, one of my favorite chain quests that I very much so enjoyed playing through. So this is the first card in many that lead to finding out a certain type of secret that is happening in the world that you can adventure on. So that's one that I will certainly put in my deck. Next, the hunt for the White Minotaur has begun. I believe that this is a free update that was introduced to the game just recently. The Song of the White Minotaur. We also have the White Council is expanding its influence. This is also free DLC that was recently introduced to the game for the holiday. The White Council 1, so that's another that I have available. And the next up, the Goblin King's Halls DLC is ready. The Goblin King Halls 1. So I don't remember if I bought this or if it was free, but it's now in my hand. Now, for diving into the river, I receive the Ring of Survival. For helping the captain of the guard, I receive a mace and another mace. For exploring the Dead King's Hall, I receive Treasure Chest. For surviving the Devil's Choice, I receive the Devil's Wager. And as a reward for defeating the Skeleton Jack, I receive these new cards: the Crucible, Queen of Dust, Helpful Priest, and the Desert Storm. And finally, as a reward for defeating the Skeleton Jack, I receive these new cards: the Helm of Reflection, Consuming Shame, Angel Wing, and Frostfang.
Shall we deal again?
Thank you very much for watching another Hand of the Hand of Fate, everyone. I'm William Strife, and I hope you enjoyed. I will return one more time for another episode in Faves of 15 with the Hand of Fate. Bye!